Government Support Services.
Nalo liquthe likhala lijabulela kutsabuka kwekusa batukulu babanzatela ingani phela eti uyabhadla inqwanqwane intengane emanda savela yaqaphatela emakhamba semengabononi neti ngomshini shukela nosekusele manje ngishukela shukela waseSwatini lonothile lwengete amandla uqala la sugar tsandza shukela
To today's news bulletin, I'm Zandile Mpapane, recapping stories making headlines. Kwaluseni Member of Parliament Sibusiso Dlamini stated that allegations made against him that he stole a watch are false. A 70-year-old woman of Bethany in Lobamba tried to commit suicide. Swatini Action Group Against Abuse condemned the act of a teacher at Mhlatane High School who beat some students black and blue. Well, those were our top stories making headlines. Now we shall get back to our news bulletin. Lihle Masuku walked away with some fabulous prizes today at the ESWATINI Tourism Authority #MyESWATINI My Holiday competition today at Mhlambanyati. We have a report. The ESWATINI Tourism Authority's ESWATINI My Holiday competition was created to promote domestic tourism around the kingdom. It is starting off at a high note as a number of people won different prizes during the competition. Part of the competition's rules is that you have to visit a number of places in the kingdom and then post them on social media, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and then tag the ESWATINI Tourism Authority page, become the lucky winner. Today, the authority awarded Lihle Masuku as the lucky winner who walked away with a number of prizes. The award ceremony was held at Mhlambanyati today. We conducted an interview with the Swatini Tourism Authority representative who enlightened the Yemaswati as to how far the competition is going.
Yes, it is very true. We've been running a competition tagged My ESWATINI My Holiday. So we are very excited that the competition has been going very well and we received a lot of entries from Yemaswati. So the competition is very simple. What you do is you take pictures of yourself in any establishment around the country and then you post them on social media and you tag ESWATINI Tourism on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So the winner with the most likes wins. And we're very, very excited to say thank you to our partners, especially for this week because we do weekly draws. A special thanks goes to Royal Villas, Mountain Inn, and Swati Secrets. The winner of the competition, Lihle Masuku, expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the authority, further explaining to Yemaswati as how they can join the competition.
Nalabanye labasafuna ukujoina the competition isaqhubeka ngathi wherever la uvakasha khona ushuthe leso sithombe bese uyaposta uyasitag ka Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. Use the hashtag #MyESWATINI Top 10 #MyESWATINI My Country.
I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News, visuals by Nxolisi Mavuso, Mhlambanyati. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy in a statement mentioned that dams in the kingdom have reached their full capacity. We have a report.
Water Affairs has released an update of the current dam water levels. The Water Service reported every single one of the nation's 5 major dams as splitting. The Water Service reported every single one of the nation's 5 major dams spilling over, with Njoli Dam, with water levels at Njoli Dam reaching 177 million cubic meters, Lubovane Dam at 155 million cubic meters, Magugu Dam at 332 million cubic meters, Hawane at 2.75 million cubic meters, and Lupotlo Dam at 23.6 million cubic meters. The nation once again is warned about the spilling over of dams, and the Water Service has noted that some of the valves are open. And the Water Service has also noted that some valves have been opened to ease pressure from dam walls. The public once again is urged to exercise caution around large bodies of water as levels keep rising. Motorists are asked not to cross flooded low-level bridges, and parents are advised to accompany their children when going to school, more especially if the schoolgoers need assistance crossing over a bridge. The Ministry and Water Affairs will continue to update the public about the rivers and dams, their water levels around the country. Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza, Mbabane.
The World Health Organization ESWATINI, through Dr. Kevin Makatsange in Mbabane, mentioned that COVID-19 cases, especially those of Omicron variant, have slightly declined in the African continent. That being said, Makatsange made it clear that that doesn't mean that COVID-19 is now over, as Yemaswati should continue following precautions from the government. We have a report.
The highly transmissible Omicron variant of the coronavirus has seen a severe surge in cases over the past few months. Omicron is notably much milder compared to previous variants and has presented much tamer effects as far as illness. Dr. Kevin Makatsange of the WHO warns against complacency as Omicron-related COVID cases fall sharply across Africa, specifically in the south, east, and central regions. Makatsange advised Yemaswati to continue on with all COVID protocols and etiquette. He also encouraged vaccination.
So we end up having a lot of cases actually in a short period of time, but then it actually causes milder disease when you compare with Delta and the other variants that has been there. And that's why we are seeing actually less people that require admission, less people that require oxygen, and even less people that actually die. When you look at the previous waves, you see that the cases were rising and the deaths were rising. But with the fourth wave, the cases are rising, but the deaths are not really rising as much. So, which is a good thing with Omicron. But what we want to warn people is, don't take Omicron as a mild form of COVID and then stop protecting yourselves. Omicron, Delta, they are all COVID, and COVID is dangerous. So you still need to actually protect yourself. And then what we have noted actually with the fourth wave is the cases rose very fast, and then they are actually coming down also very fast. So in Africa, we are seeing the cases of COVID actually coming down, and don't think that COVID is gone. COVID is still there. If you have risk factors, comorbidities, get vaccinated. But we have seen actually a bit of hesitancy, people not really coming forth to get vaccinated. If you look at the coverages, not only in Eswatini, even in South Africa, in Eswatini, the countries seem to be sort of stagnant. Like Eswatini around 23, 24, now around 27%. It's sort of actually stagnant at that rate.
Makatsange wephethe ngekuveta eMaswatini wekuthi lokutaba ngimancoba kulesimo lesinjena ngiyo wekuthi eMaswati agobhe channel yeMaswati na Abongile Mabuza na Linda Shongwe eMbabane.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza, Linda Shongwe, and Zandile Mbabane.
He stated that allegations made against him that he stole a watch are false. Dlamini mentioned that those lies were spread by people who are against him. We have a report.
There is a certain Mnisiman that is said to have lost his watch when he was hijacked. A few items were taken away from the man, including his watch. Mangoba said he was told that his watch was seen worn by Waluseni Member of Parliament, Mr. Mapanisi Dlamini.
This Friday, actually, ngathola lenye jaha bathi manqoba inombolo yalona ngilo ngakunethenga bayo langitshela ukuthi iwash lakho ngilona ngingwanto lwasi lakho lithengiswele wafike balithengisela bomgesheni labantu abalithengako mabhanisi walithenga 300 randi.
Angathi lutho nje mina ngeva yabo into nawezile angeke bese sothi usiqiniseko nabo
because Elvis yena uvakala ngazi vele unesiqiniseko ukuthi vele watshelwa nguwe vele beka natha wasiyamtshela
wena akusiko njalo yena wathi sihleli siyimajanje wathi ngathi ngimile washilamlilo lahle ngathi ngathi ngeke ngiva nje bathi ngile washa ngathi kubanibani uyabona ukuthi kuyacuqa hayi ukuthi beke into lengisho ngayo
The Member of Parliament stated that most rumors are carried by haters, received by fools, and kept by stupid people. The Member of Parliament also stated that these days most people are trying to badmouth others.
Kungaba nje angathi lena ngayiphendula kanje kuthi always remember kuthi rumors are carried by haters and amukelwe dilima abese ahlala netinqanqanci lokho ngushiso yini umuntu uhamba khuluma noma yini emangweni kepha ke njengoba wathi Gary ukuthi seliphosele emasumpeni endike maseliphosele emasumpeni wonke umuntu uzama ukudeposition uzama ukuthi avete tibunu talenye ivota benene awuye eParliament ngekukhuluma kabi nemuntu wenda kahle esiveni uze uye eParliament uma ngabe ufuna ukuya eParliament vela esiveni wende kahle hayi kuchuba bunqinqanci hayi kuchuba bulima endike kuchuba bulima usuke utshengisa ukuthi lengqondo yakho incane kakhulu awuzange uya esikolweni. Don't be a problem to us. Thank you.
Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Nhlanhla Twala in a report compiled by Gary Carlos in Matapa.
I am Zandile Mpapane. We shall continue with our bulletin. A 70-year-old woman of Bethany in Lobamba tried to commit suicide after her house was gutted down by fire. We have a report.
Following the burning of a house of Koko Mzomboloti of 70 years old, it is said that Koko couldn't bear the pain, such that she attempted to commit suicide. However, she was saved while she was hanging on the roof. Today, Induna Ngunda and the Bukopo of Lubamba Lomzala went to the family to donate some food parcels and blankets that were also donated by other people.
Vele kwasha konke mbhede tingubo kudla konke nje vele kwasha ngako ke bese kuba nekubuka la kule lama TV babese baka World Vision kuba khona kudla labakulethako netingubo netinsipho njengalokhu nje tibonakele nathi khona la silethe tona ke la imiti mbili ke jakwanyalo sicale ngalo sakulo munye futhi lapho khona nakhona kwendeke kanjalo nakho kwasha langalinye letino kakulisona.
Fegile Pidlamini, a daughter to Koko, said that they are very grateful with the donations that they've been receiving. However, they are still asking for help, especially of a bed and other materials.
Sibonga kakhulu nje ukuthi sebasitile baqopha nemvuna kakhulu eside lutho ngisho nalokudla. Sicela abantu basite ngetimbhede ne-wardrobe eside nje seside konke. Maka akafuna ukuthi ikhunga enzaweni nasendlini yakhe. Samlamlela samkhumula wasahamba samkhasela athatha amaphoyisa ahamba umkhasela.
Kucela nje sibenze sengonyama salomuthe believe ukuthi manje nje nangaba benalo liphahla nalabo ngoba ikude teacher kude mabhodo kude likhaya kanti likhaya leli leliswele kweswela andikenyalo akusa-understandeki nje ukuthi sidonda njani. Siyacela vele sibe sengonyama sisibambise.
Mrs. Nandi Faguta also confirmed that Koko almost committed suicide because she took time trying to build the house using the elderly grant funds.
Lemkati kongalena ndlu ukuthi Koko Mzomboloti Nkosi yami uyakheka madima ayakha ngemali grant ngisho nje ukuthi imthethe almost 5 to 10 years kuyakha so lazama kuyakha kancane ngoba imali grant bayifika every after 3 months so abeke lokuncane futhi adependeki yona le mali grant kudla uthi teke nasayisha lendlu kwasha konke lokukhona waba nekokuthi inkosi kwendekalelani lokimi bekasafuna ke vele ukuthi ibulala la kabanjwe khona sekavele afuna ukuthi lengisa kuyo yona lendlu.
Those who may assist Koko Mzomboloti family can contact 7657-5277 or 7614-3357. For Yemaswati channel, Mkeri Kalos, Lubamba Lomzala.
The Swatini Action Group Against Abuse condemned the act of Mhlatane High School teacher who was seen in a video that went viral, where he was beating some students black and blue. We have a report.
Following a story that has been seen on social media, whereby a teacher from Mhlatane School was seen punishing students by beating them hard, which is something that did not go well with so many people. We today decided to speak to those from Swaziland Action Group Against Abuse, SWAGA, whereby Sakile Dlamini, who is Communications and Advocacy Officer, stated that it is not something good and strongly discouraged the act of the teacher.
Corporal punishment and little temfumbo belipusha yona a positive discipline. Kuthi bamphana siba discipline ngendlela lengile tabafundisa ibakhe hayi ukuthi sisebenzise i-physical force ukuthi sisi as a corrective measure. So kubona lokhu kwendeka akusiyo imphule kahle nalendlela thishela lashaya ngayo labantwana uyabona ukuthi i-objective yakhe bekukuthi abavise buhlungu aphinze mhlambe abahlazise kulabanye abashaya nangelulaka lolukhulu nekuthi ubashayela lapha embo kwabamphana labanye siye sithi inhlangano uma silana dotinza abatehlukubeteka noma te violence asifuni ukubona ubona tinkinga noma i-conflict iqatulula ngetindzaba tekusebentisa ludlame. Loku lesikubonako is violence. I-violence ayisiko kabi kuphela lapho khona natobona babe ashaya make. Nalo lokwendekala kuthishela ashaya umfana ngalendlela bekamshaya ngayo kungiyo i-violence. And kwendeka endzaweni lapho khona abantwana baye kofunza. Lokusho ukuthi abantwana abagcini njengekufunza lokubhala tincwadzini kuphela, kodwa bafunza netintfo letendekalako around bona. Indlela thishela lashaya ngayo abantwana nalokubashaya kuyabafundisa labantwana ukuthi nangabe vele ufuna uyenda. Sibona abantwana lana nyalo bekhulunywa.
The Eswatini Environment Authority, in an interview with our reporters in Babane, mentioned that there are some legislations that were passed that will prevent Yemaswati from throwing litter that will have negative impacts in the environment. We have a report.
The Eswatini Environmental Authority's efforts to clean up the country continue. Betusile Mhlanga of the EEA announced the implementation of 2011's litter regulations, which are already in effect. The legislation calls for the responsible and mindful disposal of waste, and failure to abide by this rule of law will result in some hefty fines.
Umthetho wama-litter regulations ngumthetho wa-2011 ngingasho nje kusengumthetho lomdzala. Utawukhumbula-ke umbukeli kokuthi livela kangwane libe nemikhankaso leminingi lebuketa natindzaba tekulahlwa kwetwibi kusukela kubohloba eSwaziland site kubo Clean Eswatini njengoba namhla sikhuluma ngaphatha sakho na Clean Eswatini. Letinye-ke tetindlela lesitisebenzisako leto kufundisa abantu ngebomcoka kokuthi balahle tibi tabo ngendlela leyo lefanele. Lo mthetho-ke sowusita la kutheni nangabe kukhona labachubekako bakwenda lokho sikhona lokho ukuthi sibabeke licala njengoba usho nje ukuthi umuntu lotholakala alahla tibi longathi tilithandana kuba ngu-5,000 emalangeni ifine yakhona. Bese kwekuthi-ke umuntu lothi noma uhamba ngemoto noma uthambela ngetinyawo kube khona tibi naye lahlako kuba ngu-50 emalangeni. Uphindze futhi ukhulume nangaletindzaba tekokuthi emakhaya asipene tindzawo lapho khona silahla khona tibi tethu nasemabhizinisini. Ibhizinisi noma ngabe incane kanganani akube nendzawo lapho khona
The EEA has been working towards creating more awareness about environmental preservation for well over a decade through various green activities and campaigns. Yemaswati are urged to cooperate and support the government in her efforts to preserve our country.
Uneliswati lo shaya ngalo le fika ku 5,000 emalangeni. Kungaba nje kukhuthata ukuthi njengoba live likulomkhankaso ukuthi asiligcine lihlandekile lilihle. Ngilo naloyo unenzima la ngayidlala ngeqinisekisa ukuthi akalahli letibi sinomi kanjani. Ikakhulukati nabaluthola ukuthi basemabhasini noma sebehlile sebayahamba basetindleleni bayemakhaya. Nalabo-ke lokhanza ukuthi umuntu usokhipha tibi ekhaya ahamba udlahla ngephandle. Sithi njena asiwukhute lo mkhubi mubi kakhulu wentana lelive lethu bese libangelo lesingathi alisabukeke.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mavuza with Kimberly Mavuso and Linda Shongwe Mbaban.
What are all the news we had for tonight? But before ending tonight's bulletin, let's take a recap of the stories which made headlines. Kwaluseni Member of Parliament Honorable Sibusiso Mapanisi Dlamini stated that allegations made against him that he stole a watch are false. A 70-year-old woman of Bethany, Lobamba, tried to commit suicide. Swatini Action Group Against Abuse condemned the act of a teacher from Tlatane High School who was seen beating some students black and blue. That's all the news we had for tonight. Do have yourselves a beautiful evening. Good night.